What's up everybody, I'm Jonathan Miller and welcome back to Jonathan Miller Music, where we help each other become better artists. SHINee is back for their 15th anniversary and 8th studio album Hard, which is already proving to be a hit, topping the iTunes charts in 40 different countries. So many of you asked for my thoughts on the album, but unlike my regular album reviews and genre deconstructions, this one's gonna be a little bit more informal as I'm really busy this week. I have also heard your requests for an EXO related video, and I may or may not be currently trying to put something together for that. You'll just have to wait and see. So today I'm just gonna keep this pretty chill and share my personal thoughts about each track and the album as a whole. This video is sponsored because I would like to pay rent, which by the way, thank you to those of you who watch the ad or just giggle at my awful segues. I genuinely do love DistroKid for music distribution, and it took me over 10 years to even get a sponsor for this channel. So thank you to all of you who support me in that way. It really means a lot. If you'd like to help me even further, consider becoming a channel member for fun emotes and previews as to what I'm up to. Every little contribution helps me in more ways than you will ever know, and make it just a little bit easier to produce videos for you guys, especially my deep dives, which can take me weeks or even over a month to put together, but no pressure. I just wanted to say thank you. So like this video, subscribe if you're new, and here are my thoughts on SHINee's 8th studio album, Hard. I kind of said this in my reaction video, but this song is so SHINee coded. Thank God it actually is a SHINee song. It reminds me so much of like their earlier stuff and feels like a true to form evolution. SHINee is known for changing concepts, trying new genres, and the more I listen to this song, the more badass it feels. I fear no crumbs were left at the table the way they ate, served, and slayed. We got a minho chorus! I loved that the music video had SHINee's signature bright colors. I know some people said it feels like an NCT or Stray Kids or even a Super M song, but before any of those groups, there was SHINee. For me, this was a great welcome back track. SHINee always has the juice. You think I like you? Boys. Come on, let's be real now. This has those pretty SHINee melodies. It's so modern and yet feels like such a throwback too. I don't even know how to describe it, but I was vibing right away. I love SHINee's random unique sounds, chord changes, and harmony stacking that just produces so much serotonin in my brain. Juice, needless to say, continued my excitement for the rest of this record. There's that jazziness that SHINee excels in. 10 Times feels like such an early SHINee era song to me. I could definitely hear this song on albums like Hello or Amigo, and honestly Dream Girl and View even. Really the best thing about SHINee, or I guess one of the best things, is that they've just got such a diverse musical range. We started with this 90s hip-hop reinterpretation, and already on track 3 we're back to R&B and jazz. Super hooky, super catchy. Onew serving vocals that I still don't fully understand how he's capable of producing. I mean, like, jokes aside, SHINee is always so confident in who they are. These men have been through stuff, and they've never once lost that essence of what makes them so special when they've had plenty of reasons to lose that, no pun intended, shine. I turn on a SHINee record or watch a music video, and it's always the same sparkle. I just love them. There's that SHINee pop song. More minho vocals make me happy. I love his raps, but the guy can also sing. That man deserves so much more credit for not only his performances, his insane amount of talent, but also just like his vocals are sometimes out of this world and deserve just as much praise as like onew and even jonghyun. And is it just me, or on this album does taemin sound a little extra happy? Even on the more emotional ones, there's just a little something else in his voice that I haven't heard from him in a really long while. And I know I might be projecting or it sounds cliche, but when SHINee really comes together, they just sound different as opposed to their solo work, which is just as impressive. And I think that really only comes from time and having to go through the things that they've had to go through. One thing I liked about Satellite was how the track progressed. I never know what chord is coming next, and the melody just continues getting stronger. It always creates nothing but very unique moments. That is very signature SM, but it's also a little signature of SHINee too. Satellite in particular gives us a typical progression in the chorus, and then gives us another dynamic post-chorus that I found really exciting. Another bop. Instant favorite. Could have easily been a title track. And if I didn't know how SHINee liked to keep us all guessing, I would be confused as to why Hard was the title track. Identity is so good. I've seen many of you mention it in my comment sections, and honestly, for good reason. It is a major standout on the record. Beautiful vocals and runs with a gorgeous production that soars. If you're not a fan of Hard as the title track, you gotta check out this song because it will fulfill all of your SHINee needs and desires. This is when it absolutely became clear to me that SHINee was here after 15 years to deliver the goods. And you can deliver your music to streaming platforms with DistroKid. DistroKid is one of the leading music distributors on the market, helping independent artists like you and me get our music up on platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, Tidal, and more. For one small yearly price, you can distribute as much music as you want without breaking the bank. Music distribution with DistroKid is really easy too. Your screen might look a little different, but simply start by choosing which stores you want your music to go to, answer if it's been previously released or is brand new, add your artist name and connect your artist profiles if you've got them already, pick your release date, record label if you have one, select your language and genres of your music, upload your album artwork, make sure it meets all the specifications. Now add your track title, add any featured artists you might have, and find the file to upload. Add all of your songwriting credits and mark if it has explicit lyrics or is a radio edit. Pick your track start time, track price, and any fun extras your budget allows you to add. Then it's time to upload. See? Super easy. So use my special VIP link to save yourself 7% on your first year's membership with DistroKid. Link is in the description. The music video for The Feeling is gorgeous. Okinawa is a beautiful place I would love to visit one day, and the perfect backdrop for this EDM track. I absolutely adore when SHINee does EDM because those bright productions really help their talents sparkle. I'm confident that Jonghyun, rest his beautiful soul, would be all over this track and this album. The way The Feeling progresses gives me chills. I wish it had been on streaming services earlier when the music video dropped because I was ready to stream it. It just fills me with so much nostalgia and happiness. It's a fantastically bright summer song and also offers a nice little change up in sound to help break up the album a little bit without feeling out of place too. This song is great. Okay, see what I mean by not feeling out of place? Like it being placed after The Feeling, which arguably shares a similar chorus style, creates a nice blend for the listener. They don't feel like the same song, but the house and dance influenced tracks work well together to create a smooth transition. Again, we've got another hooky song with SHINee's breathy vocals, dotted with some power belts. I know it probably feels like I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but when you're good, you know? This album needed a slower song, or at least one that could fall more into the emotional category. The 80s inspired track offers a nice little dose of calmness among the songs before it, but not in a way that would make me want to write it off as a skip. We've got the powerful hook to keep it memorable, but the verses are soft enough to make it sound interesting in amongst all of the songs preceding it. SHINee really knows how to put an album together, and it shows. Insomnia almost has a little touch of lo-fi on it that I certainly did not expect. I feel like it would be a great track to study to, but exciting enough to also pay attention to. Key's vocals in this particular song especially shined for me. Sometimes he does a little run or riff that is just magical, and it doesn't have to be the most in-your-face riff or run. R&B lo-fi pop is such a wonderful combination that perfectly complements their beautiful falsettos. These men were not playing around for their 15th anniversary. A pop R&B track in Gravity rounds out SHINee's 8th studio album, and although emotional and smooth, doesn't find itself falling into the stereotypical ballad at the end of an album trap. You guys know I will defend the ballad at the end of the album and don't really mind it, but I know that some people do. What I like about Gravity is that it pulls on the heartstrings and leaves you wanting to restart the record, but it doesn't do the typical swells and bring out all of the bells and whistles to try and accomplish those things. SHINee started out as a contemporary R&B group, and when Gravity ended while I was listening to it for the first time, I kind of wanted to go back to replay and go through SHINee's journey in its entirety again. To me, That's what an anniversary album should do. So overall, my thoughts are this. Somehow, SHINee put together an entirely new album, but made it incredibly nostalgic and completely new at the same time. This doesn't feel like goodbye, or we're too old now, or let's only remember the past. Hard is very much a brand new body of work, filled with changing concepts, genres and sounds, but because SHINee knows exactly who they are as a group, the nostalgic moments only serve to enhance the overall album experience. You can still listen to this album as a curious new fan and read it simply as a new K-pop album you found on Spotify. Who are these 5th gen rookies? You'll still get something out of it because SHINee's just adding more to their discography and hoping to inspire you enough to check out the rest. I mean, if I'm being seriously nitpicky, I would have loved some of those soaring, SHINee chorus melodies on the song Hard in particular, but those things are present on the rest of the record, so it doesn't make much of a difference, and I don't really feel bad about giving this album 5 out of 5 stars. From start to finish, it's confident, self-assured, a little vulnerable, and without a doubt, unmistakably and oh so beautifully, SHINee.